Hi, this is Trevor Conquergood with R&K Distributing and Floriani, and today's video is going to be all about how to move your software to a new PC. And we know that often people, are purchasing a new computer, and so if that's you, then today's video is perfect for you. And so we'll talk about how to deactivate your software so that you can activate it on a new computer again. We'll talk about how to download the program, make sure you have the latest version, all that good stuff. And so if you're ready to get started, let's go ahead and click onto my workspace. And perhaps one of the first things that you're going to want to do is just make sure. So I guess what we'll talk about is what do you need to do on your old PC? And then we can talk about what will you need to do on your new PC. And so for the old PC, I think one of the main things you're going to want to do is make sure that you've copied over any of your assets and all of your embroidery designs. Now, the embroidery designs, they could be anywhere in your computer. But if you do, like I do, use the library is where all your Floriani free monthly designs are. And certainly we can download those at any time. You don't necessarily have to copy them from your old computer to your new computer. But if there are other designs that you've copied into your library, those ones you'll need to save and then move to the new computer. And essentially the library, when you look on the right hand side and you see the little yellow tab that says library, is actually just a location on your computer. It's found on your C drive. It's literally C://Floriani. In other words, if I click on my yellow file folder to open up, like the Windows File Explorer, and if I look to my C drive, there'll be a folder called Floriani. And if I click on it, you'll find that there's a folder called Designs. And inside of that folder is whatever is inside of this folder is what exactly shows up when you click on the library. And so if you're moving computers and you're using your, C/Floriani as a place to create your own folders and keep your own designs, you might just want to copy your entire Floriani Designs folder onto some sort of a USB stick or an external drive so that you can take it to the new computer. All right. So if you have questions for us after today's video, I would like to just go ahead and pop up the R&K Software Club website and point out that at any point in time during this process, if you need some extra help, just come and click on support and go ahead and open up a software support ticket. And when you do, we will reply to your support ticket by email, and then it becomes an email conversation, but we are happy to help you if you have any questions. Now, coming back to the Floriani program, okay, so you're going to copy your designs, number one. Number two, you want to also see if you have any assets. And when I say assets, I mean things like fonts, but it could be a whole number of things, custom shapes. So when you click on the Tools drop-down menu, there is an option here to import assets and export assets. And that's a great tool at this time. There's actually two sets. There's import presets, export presets, and then import assets and export assets. So assets and presets are two different things that you can do to customize your program. So for example, if I say export assets, a window comes up. And just as an example, fonts, hoops, thread charts, workspaces. If you've ever created a custom workspace and saved it as your favorite workspace, you can bring it to your new computer. You just click on workspace, choose the select option. I've got two in here that I could select and share. If I only wanted to share one of them, I would uncheck one of them. So now I'm going to check and save this one workspace into this asset file. Same thing with fonts. If you come to your fonts, if you've ever created any fonts using the font importer, or if you have the lettering master tool and you've created fonts, you're going to want to save them. And that's where you come here. If you click select, it by default will check all of them. In other words, if you just click fonts and don't even look at select, it's going to select all of them. But if you are, planning on sending fonts to your friends and you only want to send, a specific font to your friend and not all of them, then this is where you can come in and say uncheck all, or check all, or uncheck all, and then just check the one font that you're trying to share and say okay. Now, there's other things that you can share, like custom shapes. So if you've ever made any custom shapes, or even if you didn't make them, if anybody else has shared them with you, and a lot of times we do share assets. And in fact, I'll show you where you can get some assets when we go back on the RNK Software Club website in a moment. So I guess the point is you could literally come in here and just check everything and check all, because you're moving into a new computer. And so if you want to make sure that you got all your assets, you would just literally do that and say okay. And it just takes a moment, and it'll pop open like a window, and look where they went to. It's the C drive, and then Floriani, and then there's a folder called assets, and it'll have your today's date, for the file that you made. And so that's how you can create an asset file with everything you've ever customized in your Floriani software. And at that point in time, you're probably just about ready to move into your new computer. The last thing that you would need to do in the old computer before you retire it, before you, uninstall the program from your computer, if you're going to even do that, you don't necessarily need to. But the point here is, under our help menu, there is an option to go into the license activator, because when you first purchased and installed the program, you would have activated it. And if you want to be able to activate it on another computer, then you simply need to come in here, and there's a drop-down list, and anything that is activated will have a small sort of little circle beside it. So I can see here that I have Floriani Total Control U activated, and I also have the Creative Express level activated. And so I could deactivate those. Watch, I'll just click on Floriani Total Control U, and then I'll say deactivate. It asks me if I'm sure, and when I say yes, we're done. Now, the other one was the Creative Express. Now, as if you don't know, Creative Express is the free version of the program. You may or may not have activated that. I'm not sure that you need to deactivate it, because you can have unlimited copies of Creative Express. So really, I think you're fine at that point. In fact, if I close this, it's simply going to say that it needs to restart to be able to, for the changes to affect. And literally what I just did was deactivate the Floriani software. The FTCU is gone, and if I start it again, it'll be the Creative Express version. So on your old PC, you can still have the software, for as long as you want to, in the Creative Express version. So now that you've got your software license deactivated, it means that you have one to use again on your new PC. Okay, so let's talk about the new PC. And while this is still opening, I'm not sure why it's a little bit slow. There you go, opening. So that's the Creative Express. If you don't ever activate your software, this is what it will look like. And then it looks a lot like the FTCU, just most of the tools and functions are missing, and it has some very beneficial. If you have any friends that don't own the Floriani software, you should tell them to download and install Creative Express. It is free, and it'll allow you to share your WAV files with them. And all kinds of great assets could be shared with a free version of the Creative Express program. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so all that said, the new PC, well, the first place you're going to want to do is visit the RNK Software Club website. And if you click on the top where it says home, you'll be kind of where you would, arrive. If you go to the website, it's rnksoftware.club. And from there, you would come to the page. Well, to be honest, FTCU, Total Quilter, Sketch-A-Stitch, Lettering Master, Fusion, and Creative Express, they all go to the same download. Essentially, these are all things that could be activated from the Creative Express. And so if you have FTCU, you can click on that. But the point is, they all have a button that says to download the Floriani software, and you have to click it. And once you've clicked it, this is the page you come to. And it's the latest version. So it'll tell you, was released on whatever date it says. And this is the number, that's we refer to as the build number. Every time there's an update, this number gets higher. And so just know that you don't need to go back to your old CD when you're getting your new PC. Simply come to the website and click here to start the download. So I'm going to click, and it's probably going to see up here that I get like a little progress meter. Well, that's because I'm on Windows 11 using Microsoft Edge. It might look a little different if you're using Google Chrome or if you're on Windows 10, but the idea is you download it, and it goes into your Windows/downloads folder. And you can kind of tell when it's done. For me, it says open file. I know that's when it's done downloading. If I click right here, open file, it's going to bring me kind of right to like starting to use it. Literally now we're starting to install the Floriani software. Well, for me in my specific instance, that doesn't make any sense because I have it running, down below here already. So I'm not going to do this. But what I'm saying is that's what you need to do on your new PC is click on the file to open it, which starts it. And if you want to find it, just click on your Windows File Explorer and look for something called your Downloads folder, where you should be able to see the Floriani software exe. And so go ahead and double click on it to start the install. And the installation process, if you need any help, but typically it's just a matter of saying okay and install, to go through. But like I said, we have a support desk, and if you run into any sort of part of the process where you get stuck, then just let us know. So at this stage, if you've downloaded the software and installed it, then when you go to open it, it'll actually look just like this. It'll have the My Floriani Today page. It'll come up. It'll be kind of purple like this. RNK Software Club. It says at the top, I have Creative Express. So when you download the program and you install it, technically, it's going to be called Creative Express. And now you can close the Today page and enjoy the program as it is. But when you're ready to use your Floriani software that you've purchased, whether that be FTCU or any of the other programs, you simply come to the Help menu and you go to your License Activator. And in the License Activator, there's a drop-down menu at the bottom. And so you simply come, and if you own FTCU, then you click there and you type in your number and choose Activate Now. And it needs to be typed exactly as you see it with the dashes. And you'll know when you get it in because the Activate Now button will actually become kind of brightly colored, like it's lit or it's ready to be pushed kind of thing. Yeah, and so if you own any other programs, you actually need to activate and deactivate. So what I'm saying is if you own FTCU, but you also independently own Sketch-A-Stitch or Lettering Master or Rainbow, then you activate those, each one of them. It's different for people who purchase the software in a bundle. So for example, if you purchase the Universal Bundle, then you only have one activation code, to activate your program. But if you purchased FTCU at one point and then you purchase Sketch-A-Stitch at another point, then you'll actually have two activation codes, and so you need to get them and install them. On that note, that might have been a good point to have suggested when you were deactivating the software on the old PC. That's a good time to write it down because, of course, at any point in time when you do have your program installed and running, if you click on Help and you go to your License Activator and then you pull up the level that you have activated, it'll tell you your activation number right here in the box. So what I'm saying is before you deactivate it, maybe copy it, write it down so that you'll have it handy when you go to reactivate it. Of course, it's always going to be found inside the original DVD case that you bought. But if you don't have that anymore and you've lost your activation number and you didn't remember to write it down, please don't be concerned, because if you do, visit the RNK Software Club website and do a support ticket, we can absolutely look up your activation number and provide that to you if you reach out to us. And so at this point in time, you would have your software installed on your computer, and you would have activated the version or the programs that you own, i.e. FTCU and Sketch-A-Stitch. And what you now have left to do is to kind of get your assets back, right? And so just like we did on the old PC, we come to the Tools drop-down menu, and there's an option here for Import Assets. And when I choose it, it allows me to browse my computer. And so I guess what you would have probably done is taken the file from your old PC and maybe copied it onto a USB stick or whatever, email it to your new computer. However you get it there, you're going to browse to find the asset file. And so I know I have some there on my C drive under Floriani, under Assets. And so I believe this is the one that I made today. And so if I click Open, now it shows me what I'm getting. And so there's some fonts, there's some hoops, there's some thread charts, there's some custom shapes. If I look at the fonts list, there's just the one font that we had saved. And so all that said, you simply need to do check all and say okay. And that will bring you in. Everything that was on your old PC can now instantly be saved into your new PC. All of your fonts, custom shapes, hoops, etc. The last thing, of course, is the designs. Now, if the designs, if you're moving them over yourself manually and you've copied everything in your Floriani folder and you just want to copy the Floriani folder onto your new computer, then guess what? Your library will automatically have everything. If the only thing that was in your library in the first place was the free monthly designs, you don't technically have to copy them from the old computer to the new computer because, of course, you can always visit the RNK Software Club website. You would go to the home page. If you're looking for the free monthly designs, those are only available for people who have FTCU. And when you visit the FTCU page, if you try and visit the page for free monthly designs, it will tell you that you have to be logged into the RNK Software Club website to be able to access those free designs. And so once again, if you need help with getting the login to the RNK Software Club website, click on the support ticket button. But this time, do a website support ticket instead of a software support. And that'll get you to the best person that can help you get your password to log into the website. But from the home page, you go to FTCU and you click on free monthly designs. If you haven't done it for a long time, you can click right here to download all, and it'll just bring you right up to date, all of the designs from 2009 until the latest month. And of course, if you've never done it before and you're not sure how to do it, there is a PDF step-by-step instruction page that'll tell you how to get the free monthly designs. And also from that web page, there is a video that you can watch that will show you how to get the free monthly designs. And so you can choose if you need to learn how you want to do that. But the point is that you're going to install them. And essentially what's going to happen is once you download them, then you're going to use the program to install them. And it's similar to the assets. You go to Tools, only this time it's Import Designs. So if you've got our free monthly designs, you would choose Import Designs, not Import Assets. And then you would browse to wherever on your computer that file would be. Let's assume that if you downloaded them, it would probably be in your Windows Downloads folder. And then you would select the file that you had downloaded and they would import, and now they show up in your library. And so I know this was a little bit of a longer video, but I think for anybody that is purchasing a new PC, it's going to be nice to have this sort of step, little bit of a video. I hope I covered all the important details, but once again, if I didn't, just visit rnksoftware.club and find this link to get support. And we will be happy to help you to move into your new PC and get your Floriani software working perfectly. So thanks again for listening and have a great day.